everybody, I'm here with Yuki. I'm gonna change her into an outfit I got in Arizona from H&M. It's a panda bear outfit. And this is the one that, it's from the WWF, which is the World, I think it's World Wildlife Fund. So I guess when you purchase these outfits, maybe it supports that charity. I'm not really sure. I can't remember what the tag had said. But as I'm changing her, I want to answer WeebieDolls tag. I will link to her tag video in the description below so that if you want to do the tag, you can go there and she's got all the questions written in the description of her video. But I just thought it would be interesting to answer some of the questions. Now, some of them I do believe I've answered in a tag before, but that was, I would say, about a year or so ago, so maybe my answers have changed since then. So I thought it would be fun to answer them anyway. And also, like, for any new subscribers that hadn't seen that video, you will hear the answers now. So let's get to it. So the first question is, how did you find out about Reborns? And I believe I've talked about this lots of times. You can hear the full story. If you go to my Meet the Babies playlist, I have the full story in there, and the full story of how I came to Reborns is, I believe, in the first 2 videos on that playlist. But the short version of it is that I've always loved dolls, and I fell in love with the Baby Think It Over when I had it in high school. And years later, when I got the internet at home and I was out of high school, I decided that I wanted to try and purchase one of them. Found the company's website, found out they only sold to schools and that the price tag was very steep for me at the time. And I didn't have a job yet at that point. So through that, on the Baby Think It Over website, they linked to the Neonate website because that was their sister company. So I wanted to get a neonate doll, but I didn't have a job yet, so I couldn't afford it. But I remember for about a year or so after that, I kept visiting the website, kept visiting it, and when I got a summer job, I saved up and got one. But before I even found the neonate website, I had been searching on eBay for Baby Think It Overs, and had actually found some on there, but wasn't sure if I wanted to get that or a neonate. But when I was trying to search them out on eBay, and I had typed in, I believe I had typed in like lifelike dolls or realistic baby dolls or something, that was when I first discovered Reborns, was on eBay. And that was when they were in the beginning stages, when they were Behringer dolls, and they didn't have any rooting. They were all wigged. So they were nowhere near the realism of Reborns that we have today. But I was pretty blown away with the realism at that time, because obviously at that time there was nothing out that was more realistic. And so again, I had actually toyed with the idea of getting that instead of a Baby Think It Over. I just couldn't really decide what I wanted. But like I said, in the end, I ended up going with the neonate. And then as people started to join the club that I made for people who owned Baby Think It Overs and neonates, over the years, people started to also purchase Reborns. And so I started to get more exposure to Reborns and just kind of kept an eye on them over the years as they progressed and got more and more realistic looking. I had a couple of Ashton Drakes because at the time they were cheaper than Reborns. And then eventually decided to take the plunge and get a Reborn once they started coming out with kits. And I purchased a Reborn on eBay around the same time that I also decided to purchase a Reborn kit to try my hand at reborning myself. So I got my first Reborn, and then a few months later I made my first Reborn. And then I've been basically all about Reborns ever since then. So these are cute. They're kind of like pajamas, I would think. They seem more like pajamas than an outfit. I don't know if they look that good on her. I think they almost look more boyish. I know that they can probably go both ways. It's very unisex, but to me, it looks boyish. And I was gonna say, she has like, her hair is all bunched up at the back. I need to like wet it and brush it out and straighten it, but if I'm gonna put a hat on her, I'm not gonna bother doing that. I can fix it the next time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think of this. And it fits weird on her. I'm still having issues with her shoulders. I took them in, I made adjustments, but they're still not to my liking. I still would like them to be like closer to her body. I really think I just need to take the plunge and try and get her a custom-made body from somewhere. But anyways, I haven't even gotten on to question number 2 yet. Oh my gosh. Okay. Question number 2 is, do you prefer a smaller collection or a larger one? Well, I obviously have a larger one. And now that I have the larger one, like the babies that I have in my collection, I love every single one of them and cannot even fathom parting with any of them at this point. I've pretty much parted with whoever I feel I could, but I can't part with any more. Realistically, I think I would prefer a smaller collection because it would be easier to manage. But I like my large collection because I have a selection to choose from. So depending on my mood, I'll gravitate toward one baby, and then another time I might be like, oh, let's change it up and go with this baby. So I can kind of like pick whoever I want whenever I want, so I don't tend to get bored because I have a selection. How many Reborns do you have? So I don't just collect Reborns. I have a collection of dolls. So, but if we're only counting Reborns, then I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10. 10. I have 10 Reborns. But I have other dolls as well. So that dries up the collection of, I think I'm good at having 10 Reborns. I don't know that I would want any more than 10 Reborns because I find the Reborns are what I interact with most. So having more than 10 I think would be a bit much. I don't mind having the other. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My battery died and I've decided I'm not going to put it back on the tripod so that you guys can see her up close. So as I was saying, the other dolls that I have in my collection I don't really interact with. They're just more of display. My American Girl dolls, I just pretty much will change their outfits and then they're back up on display. I don't really do much else with them other than change them. So the only dolls that I actually like interact with and like role play or take out or whatever are my Reborns. So I don't think I would want any more than 10. 11 max maybe, but I wouldn't want to go over that because then it just gets to be too much. But So yeah, so number 4 is, what is your number 1 favorite sculpt of all time? Honestly, that is really hard to choose. There's lots of sculpts that I love. I think right now it really is the Maisie kit by Andrew Arcello, which I'm so lucky to have that kit in my collection, and also the Coco Malou. Those two are like tied for me, and I just feel super lucky that I have both of them in my collection. So it's really awesome that I can say pretty much all of the babies in my collection are dream babies, really. Number 5, do you have a theme for your reborns? No. As you guys know, I am a little obsessed with monkeys because my cousin who passed away likes them so much, and they seem to have shown up in abundance ever since she passed away. So I do have a lot of monkey themed clothes, although in the last year I've kind of started to get away from that. I think I just overdid it, and I just am kind of tired of the monkey themed stuff. So I've just really been branching out on different clothes, and so I don't really think I can say I have a theme for any of my babies, because I just personally don't like to have themes, because I find it gets really boring. If you have, like, you know, if I was to say have one doll and all of their stuff is monkey stuff, like, I just would get bored of that. So I just now go with whatever I love, and that could be any style, any pattern, whatever. It's just, if I love it, it's there. So that is that. Number 6 is, what is your favorite thing to do with your reborns? I love to take them out with my doll friends. I love that. I love making videos with them. And of course I love dressing them. That's like probably my absolute favorite thing, is just getting that perfect outfit and you put it on the baby and it's just like, it just makes you fall in love all over again with that particular baby. Number 7, do you take a reborn when you go on vacation? Yes and no. If it is like when I traveled to the Rose Doll Show, or when I traveled to Arizona and it was basically for a doll meetup, if it is any kind of doll themed vacation, then yes, I will take a reborn with me. Otherwise, if it's just like a vacation with Alex and myself or whatever, I won't bring one. Number 8, if you had to choose between an evening out at a large social event or a night at home alone with your reborns, what would you choose? That is a really hard question to answer, because it really would depend on my mood and how I'm physically feeling health-wise. In general, I prefer to stay at home, to have a quiet evening at home, watching some TV, maybe cuddling a reborn while I'm watching TV, maybe not, maybe making a video at home, I don't know. But if I've been cooped up, like if it's been, you know, a while since I've been out, then I would probably choose a social event to get out of the house, because I do get stir crazy after a while if I haven't been out in a while. So yeah, but I generally don't like huge social events. Like, even if I was to go out, I would prefer to just like go to the mall with a friend or something, or go out to dinner. Not really like a large social gathering, because those are really draining. 9, do you hide your reborns when people come over? No, I do not. All my reborns have a particular place in my apartment. My babies are kind of scattered all over, and they pretty much stay there. The only time I've put some away, and it wasn't to hide them per se, it was just to make room, because I do have the bouncer in the living room, and I have this boppy pillow with Landon on it usually in the living room, and they usually go here, and there's the bouncy chair here. And right now I have these guys here that I need to get an actual spot for. But when I've had a group of friends over where I know that I'll need room for, you know, like to put chairs here or something, then I will just move them into the bedroom to give me room. Or like if my niece and nephew are coming over and I don't want them to like handle the babies a lot, I'll put them in the bedroom. But it's not like to hide them, like, oh my gosh, I don't want people to see them. So, number 10, who is on your wish list for your next baby? Honestly, I don't really have anyone other than probably Saskia, which I already have that kit stashed away. And like I said, I'm not even 100% sure I want that kit anymore. I'm just kind of holding off on it for a few more months before I make a final decision on that. So honestly, like other than Saskia, which I'm like still not 100% on, I don't have anyone else. I'm pretty much content right now. Number 11, how do you know when your collection is complete, or is there such a thing? I think I have said quite a few times over the years that I'm done. I'm not adding anymore, or I'm not getting any more. And then they're always coming out with new kits. Like I got an email from McPherson's advertising the new upcoming kits, and I'm not even kidding. There was like, I would say about 10 each month. And it's like, how can you even keep up with that? So I don't think there ever is a complete. I know that right now the collection that I have, I'm happy with and content with, and I don't really have a desire to add to it at this point. But that's not to say that somewhere down the line I might not fall in love with another kit that I really want, and maybe one of my other babies at that point in time I will no longer have an interest in, that I could sell one to get one. But again, I'm trying to stick to like a certain number. So if it boils down to the collection that I have, I can't part with anyone, then as much as I love the new kit, I'll have to pass on it unless I can decide to sell someone, because I only have so much space. So, I don't know. I don't know if there ever is such a thing as a complete collection in this hobby, because it's always changing. It's always evolving. The sculpts are getting more and more realistic. And so it's really hard to, I don't know, it's hard to say that like your collection is complete, because also like I've found over the years my taste seems to change. So, you know, like it got to the point that I no longer was interested in Ashton Drake dolls. So I sold all my Ashton Drake dolls and replaced those with some Reborns that I really had fallen in love with. So that's, you know, who's to say what my taste will be in a couple of years. Some of these babies in my collection that I absolutely love right now, my taste may change down the road, and I might want to sell some of those to get some new faces. I don't know. I think that's all part of collecting, is trying to get that perfect collection where you're just completely satisfied with every single doll in your collection. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. 11 questions. So like I said, if you want to see all the questions, I will link to WeebieDolls tag in the description below, and then in the description of her video are the questions. And I think that's it for this video, guys. So here's the hat and the outfit, and I gotta get socks on her, but I don't know if I'm feeling this outfit. It's cute, but I almost feel like it would be better suited on a boy. I really do. I don't know. I think it's just too much going on, too much pandas with the pants and the shirt. And it definitely reminds me more of pajamas than an outfit. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching this video. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.